All right, so let's talk about using angles relationships, okay? In this problem here, let's call it problem A or example A, we got two lines crossing each other, and you got that this angle is 3x plus 1, and they want to know what is basically the measurement of QPR, which is this angle here. I don't know this measurement. I don't know this one. So let's use yellow. And they also want to find out what is the measurement of angle QPT. Let's color it orange. So QPT, QPR. So we have to set up an equation here, okay? And also let's say that, oh, I forgot about it. Let's say that this is 148 degrees. We know that this is 148 degrees. It's given, okay? Let's say that we got all that information and they want to find out what is QPR and QPT. Well, what we know here, okay, is that this angle and this angle TPS are basically vertical angles, and vertical angles are congruent, they are equal to each other. And also we know that this angle here, QPT, is equal to this angle over here, which is RPS, okay? Vertical angles are basically angles that when you cross two lines, the opposite angles, this one and that one, and this one and that one, are vertical angles. And they are equal, congruent to each other. So we can set up an equation now. So we know that basically 3x plus 1 is going to be equal to 148 degrees. We know that. That's the yellow one right there. And now we can solve the equation, okay? Subtracting 1 to both sides of the equation, that should give you 3x equals to 147. Dividing by 3, that should give you x equals to 49. And that is not the answer, okay? That's only part of what you need to find out the answer. Now, what you need to do is to basically plug in the x into this one over here, right? To find out what is the value, right? Which we already know, it's going to be 148. But let's do that, because we know that, right? So just to check it if it is right. So you can do that. 3 times 49 plus 1, right? That should be equal to 148 degrees. And if you do it, you got it right. Okay, so it works. It's good. That's the x. So it is the right value there. So we know that this over here is 148 degrees. Remember, this angle and this angle are vertical angles. So this is 148, this is 148. Now, how do I find out the other angle here, right? QPT. Well, that's simple. Okay, if you guys remember from previous sections here, we know that this angle, right, is a straight angle, and these two angles are a linear pair. So all of these together is 180 degrees, right? So it's pretty simple. So basically 180 minus 148 should give you that. So let's set it up over here. So basically, let me write down QPT plus QPR is equal to 180 degrees. Linear pair. Okay? That one and that one. And basically we got that information. So we do not know what is QPT. That's why we're trying to figure it out. We know that QPR is 148 degrees. And both of them adding together add up to 180. So if you subtract 148 to both sides of the equation, should give you the answer for QPT, which in this case is gonna be, let me see, 32. So again, QPR, so this one is 32 here. So QPR is 148 and QPT is 32 degrees. Simple, right? Now let's take a look at another example. Right here. Fine, we got basically again two lines crossing each other. They want you to find the measure of all of the angles, okay, all of the angles. But before you do that, you need to find out what is the value of x and what is the value of y. Same deal as before. This angle and this angle are vertical angles, so they are equal to each other, or congruent. This angle over here is congruent to this one, or equal to each other here, because they are also vertical angles, okay? So we set up the equations here. So 8x plus 7 equals to 9x minus 4, okay? Those are a pair of vertical angles. And I have the other one, 5y equals to 7y minus 34. That is my other pair of vertical angles. We solve the equation, okay, by subtracting 8x to both sides of the equation. Cancels, cancels. 7 is equal to 1x minus 4. Adding 4 to both sides of the equation should give you x equals to 11. Okay? Same deal here. Subtracting 5y to both sides of the equation. That one with that one is a 0. 7y minus 5y, 2y, minus 34. Adding 34 to both sides should give you 34 equals to 2y. Dividing by 2 should give you y equals to 17. Okay? We got all that information there. Now what we need to do is to plug in the x and y into each one of them to see if everything, is right, and find out the values of all of the angles. So in this case over here, 8 times x, which is 11, plus 7, that should give you 95 degrees. This one should be the same thing. You should be having 95 degrees, but you can check it, see if it is right. So 9 times 11 minus 4, guess what? 95 degrees. You know that this angle and this angle are a linear pair. They're going to be adding up to 180 degrees. So you can find this information by going 180 minus 95. But we're going to be checking that by plugging the y here, the 17. See if we get the answer here. So 7 times 17 minus 34. All right. And that should give you, I don't know, let's see, 85. It should give you 85. 85 degrees. And if you go 85 plus 95, you should be getting 180 degrees. Okay? This one should be getting the same thing as that one. So 5 times 17. 5 times 17. Guess what? That's equal to 85 degrees. Everything works. Okay? 95, 85, 95, 85. They have to be the same. 95, 95. Vertical angles have to be the same. 85 and 85 because they are vertical angles. These two together should be adding to 180 because they are a linear pair. 85 plus 95, a linear pair, 180. The same thing. 95 plus 85, linear pair, equals to 180. 85 plus 95, add up to 180. And if you add all of the angles, 95 plus 85 plus 95 plus 85, should be a circle, should be 360 degrees. Okay? I hope these examples are helpful for you guys. Please do your assignments.